Hey guys, here's another edition of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. As you can see, the body for the 69 EV Bug is back in our shop. We brought this one back over just today from the paint shop. So really happy with how this car is looking. The color came out great. So this is paint matched to some of the original paint on the car, which is supposedly diamond blue. Really great color. So yeah, they did a really nice job. Looks good. We have the rest of it is in storage right now. Carefully, the hood, the deck lid, all the other little doodads. I think we're actually, and this was kind of dumb that we didn't do this ahead of time, but I think since this car is going to be an EV, we're actually going to go back and fill these two in. We're going to get some more paint that matches this and blend it. No one will ever know that it's been worked on a little bit and touched up, because our paint guy that we use is really good. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fill those in. Should have done it in the first place, but whatever. We got a lot going on here. Sometimes it's hard to think of everything, but we'll go back and make it right, because there's no point in having those on an EV. Our guy that's doing the EV installation actually went in already and modified the what's normally the gas filler for the EV plug. So the EV plug goes right there. You pop open the gas filler, and that's where you'd plug in the charging port. So yeah, we're really happy with how this car is coming, and it's great to get the body back in the shop. After we finish a couple little things on the body, like I mentioned, then we'll probably go ahead and put the headliner in this one. And yeah, in the meantime, more work on the chassis for that car. You can't really see that I've done much today, but between getting this car over here and running other errands and stuff, I didn't have as much time as I'd like, but I got a few things done. The rear trailing arms and axles, got those all assembled. So one of my least favorite things to do on earth, which is pack bearings. So I got the new inner and outer bearings packed for these and fitted the stub axles on them. These covers are just kind of on here temporarily to hold the bearing, the outer bearing, in place, because the caliper mount, which mounts basically sandwiched between these two, is coming back from powder coating, hopefully in the morning. So actually, once I get those, then at the same time I'm going to get the spring plate covers. Then I can finally bolt the spring plates up, get them pulled in all the way, and then the whole rear suspension of this car can go together. Monday, I'm supposed to actually get the transmission back. So yeah, the back of this car is going to be pretty much done, or largely done at least, by Monday or so. So that's kind of exciting. The front end, you can't really tell I did much, but again, one of my least favorite things on earth, I just mentioned. Before, I just had the front rotors were just kind of dry mounted, so I pulled them back apart and packed the bearings with grease, put the inner grease seals on. All those kind of annoying little details like that. I also got the steering box mounted up. I had to trim the pitman arm a little bit on some of these narrowed beams. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but on some of these narrowed beams, this little travel stop part of the pitman arm actually hits this plate here on the beam. So you have to go in and trim this. I trimmed it, as you can see, so I'm going to go back in and pull it off and then touch up the paint so it doesn't get rusty on the end here. But yeah, little details like that, they end up kind of taking a lot of time, and a lot of times, you may not anticipate those kind of things, and they do end up absorbing a lot of time. The other thing with some of these beams is where the little tabs are welded on here underneath the beam that are supposed to center and kind of orient the steering box. A lot of times those are welded on kind of sloppy, and so you have to go in and grind those so that the bottom cap will actually fit on there. So another one of those things, some time spent doing that you can't really see that it's done, and it doesn't look cool or anything, but it's just one of those kind of things you have to do to actually even assemble the car. Not glamorous, but just one of those things. So yeah, that's about it for this car. Again, mostly packing bearings. I started test fitting the steering. It's all just on here loose right now. I'm just kind of mocking things up. I usually like to go and mock things up, do like dry fits of things to make sure everything's right. Any grinding that has to be done, like for instance on that pitman arm, do that when everything is just kind of loosely assembled. And then any paint touch up or anything like that, I can go ahead and do it, and then do final assembly where everything's actually torqued down, etc. So yeah, that's it for the EV. But yeah, really kind of a big day for that car because again, the body made its way back over here. The one family 64 Beetle, Rafa worked on the transmission some for this car today. He actually went and cleaned up and painted, kind of did a restoration on the starter, got it mounted. He got some of the mounts mounted up to the transmission here. I think he mounted the front one too. Yeah, so the front transmission mounts mounted on there too. So he worked on that a little bit today, and then he spent most of the rest of the day starting in on the tinware for the motor for that car. So you can see we've got a giant box here with a lot of the tinware and manifolds and stuff like that. So this stuff, he spent a good part of the day doing essentially body work on the tin for the motor. Had a lot of dents and dings and stuff in it, so getting that all kind of hammer and dollied out, making it look good, and then eventually it'll go off and get powder coated and look new. But yeah, lots of work goes into this stuff before you can send it off to sandblasting and powder coating. Just again, basically hammer and dolly body work on these tins to make them look perfect before we go and get them powder coated. We don't want to be beating on them once they're powder coated, so it's better to just do that work up front. So yeah, overall, very productive day in the shop here, and short week for us since we've got Thanksgiving come up. So we're gonna pick up some parts tomorrow and work hard on both these cars. And then I think the other thing that's gonna happen tomorrow, fingers crossed, is the bumper for the 57 Lowlight is gonna come in, the rear bumper, and we're gonna go ahead and put that on. And then that car is basically done, except for some test driving and any fine tuning that comes out of that's needed. We did have somebody in today, and I'll put a link to his shop, who came in and actually polished this car today, cleaned it, polished it, put a ceramic coating on it, so you can see how nice this car. Usually the poor thing's kind of sitting here dusty, but being as how we're finishing this car within about the next week, and the new owner is going to take delivery of it, we went ahead and had a fellow named Robert. His company is Custom Corrections, I think it is. Anyway, I'll put a link down there. But yeah, no, he did a really good job. This car looks 1,000 times better. And then once we get the bumper on it, hopefully tomorrow, then I'll do a very thorough walk around of this car as finally as a finished car. So that's exciting too. But yeah, great day so far. Well, not so far. It's over now. I'm about to go home finally after 12 hours. And yeah, we should have another good day tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Take care.